Hey YouTube, let's rock out. Now a lot of you, like me, has probably felt that gaming has been a little boring. Now, I ain't gonna lie, we finna get to the bottom of it. Now this video came up on my recommended at the right time, cause last night I was trying to play the game and it wasn't hitting like I wanted it to. Now it may be because I'm not playing the new latest Call of Duty. Maybe it's cause I'm not really playing online with my friends and stuff like that. But even then, I started off as a story playing gamer. Far Cry 6 is out. I'm on track to beating that, but I'm trying to take my time with it. Because, you know what I'm saying? After I beat it, what else am I going to really play? So now, it's like we just waiting for the next new game. Or the next big trending game to play. So everybody can feel enjoyment. But in this video, we finna watch why gaming feels boring right now. Let's rock out. Y'all probably like, hey, it look different. Yeah,
That
move
fun
my
anymore,
room
guys.
around.
I'm gonna be honest. Games just aren't that fun anymore, guys. I'm gonna be honest. I mean, I used to have so much fun in the past, but now,
Hold on, we
now I
finna
just
read real quick. real quick. I won't spoil, LOL. Just say a few characters from different shows and I'll see. I'm trying to think of a character which changed over time. Can I do Mr. Krabs or is that too easy? I don't know. Sure, LOL. Now I have a new vocabulary word. Flanderization. Yada. Oh, good. Oh, good. He's going all out. Writing a whole paragraph. See, yeah, nah, I'm not finna read that. So
can't find anything to play really. I think I'm just gonna get off for the night, guys.
I feel like this finna be a troll video.
If you're on the gaming side of social media, you've probably heard people, or even yourself, say stuff like this before. People complaining about how there's nothing to play anymore, how much fun they used to have when they were kids, or even up to just a few weeks ago, and now...
It might just be because we are growing up. We've been playing games for years. Like, I'm pretty sure it was going to be different for
games
us,
just don't hit like they used to. This statement always confused me, because from my perspective, there's plenty of games that I want to play right now, but just don't have the time for, and even more that I'm looking forward to releasing within the next few months. Until I watched a video by Optimus, a pretty large commentary channel, that made a video titled "Gaming Just Isn't the Same Anymore." And it gave me an entirely different perspective on why people are finding games dull, and helped me understand their point of view. However, I felt like there were flaws in his argument, and would personally disagree that games are just boring now. And before I continue, I want to make it clear that I'm not bashing on Optimus. I actually like the video and agree with most of the points he made. And if you like COD, Valorant, or Madden, that's cool. This video isn't a bash on you. I'm glad you're enjoying those games. That's not what this is about. So a big thing Optimus touched on in his video was how he used to love older games, and throughout the entire video, he mainly referred to big budget shooter games, saying that how he was getting bored of COD, and the only game he actually mentioned he was looking forward to was the new Battlefield. And it's not only Optimus who I've noticed this with, but it's hundreds of people online who say the same things, but only play this one genre. And maybe it's not even the genre you're tired of.
Now let's be honest. I play every single type of game out there. But when we're strictly talking about COD, the reason COD is getting boring is because we getting the same type of fucking game. Like, the only time in recent memories that COD has been different is when we went to the future and did the jetpacks. But people didn't like it. It wasn't boots on the ground. So we had Black Ops 3 Advanced Warfare, and then we had Infinite Warfare. Infinite Warfare, I ain't play it, so I ain't got nothing to say about it. Then we went back to boots on the ground. Then we had Black Ops 4, Modern Warfare, Cold War. Now we got Vanguard. Now, I played the last three. I played it, you know what I'm saying? Black Ops 4, I played Modern Warfare and Cold War. Cold War was ass to me. Now, Modern Warfare, any people would say it was a bad game. But to me, that was one of the most fun I had on Call of Duty since Black Ops 4. And the reason why is because the guns were good, the movement was good, the way it looked was beautiful. But the only problem was the players, the way people played, the meta. So it's like when they did something right, the players ruined the game and complained about the game itself and not the community. So we're not holding ourselves accountable on that part. Just like with 2K. 2K come out, it be a little 2K, and then some way, somehow, somebody finds a way to break the game and then complain about the game when it was the players who broke the game. Yeah, the dev teams can work a little harder to prevent that by beta testing a little longer and stuff like that. But that's resources that they can't really do and give out because they run on budgets. Not too many people know that. I don't know what I'm talking about. You feel? I'm just sounding smart at this moment. But with a little research, we all know a little better about making games. On to the video.
But games feeling unfinished, DLC taking priority, the toxic environment of competitive, or think the quality of these big budget titles have simply lowered. So many people are tunnel visioned into only playing these big budget AAA games put out by these huge companies. And not only AAA games, but oftentimes the shooters within these AAA games. And it's no wonder why people are starting to feel jaded. Other than a few, most of these games play out exactly the same. You go around, pew pew, shoot the enemy, one wins, one loses. And yeah, I know I'm boiling this down to the most basic rendition of an explanation, but when every game someone plays revolves around this premise, it's gonna get stale, especially when the game itself doesn't evolve. Optimus mentioned how this was the first year that he didn't check out the new COD game, and honestly, I'm surprised he's been playing this long. AAA games take a lot to make, so it leads them to take a lot less risks than, say, an indie developer would. So while COD has minor changes with each generation of games, the core mechanics stay the same, creating an overall lower skill ceiling. There's a big reason why a game like Super Smash Bros. Melee still has a thriving community. It's because even though the game came out in 2001, people are still finding new tech, and are constantly improving at the game, keeping things fresh with every single tournament. And I'm not saying COD or other shooters don't take skill, but at a certain point, you're gonna hit a skill ceiling, and it's at that point that the game starts getting stale. Even when people try to switch games, they're tunnel visioned into only looking at a specific group of games. Big name titles that are extremely popular multiplayer games. But other than a few outliers, when people try to switch to one of these games, they're essentially getting a very similar experience to what they've been playing for more than an entire decade. Sure, game mechanics definitely vary between games, but the core of the game stays consistent, making the overall feel very similar. And couple this with the fact that we've been in quarantine for the past 1.5 years, where man's really just been playing games. Like when I was a kid, I was only allowed to play on weekends. And I hated that rule, but it made it so that games felt special. I would look forward to getting on my favorite games every weekend. So grinding games every day for that long, of course it's gonna get boring. Especially games that get repetitive or feel like you can't break a skill ceiling in. Another thing I frequently see is how people say how games used to be so much better. Optimus even stated himself how much fun he used to have with older games like Zelda Wind Waker, Mario Sunshine, and Pokemon. But what confuses me is how these same game franchises are still being put out. And personally, I say that they're even better than before. I don't know.
I mean, if we're gonna be honest, the only reason we ever say something used to be good is because of nostalgia. Like, you can't just use the argument that Black Ops 2 is the best COD when look at what you're comparing it to. You're comparing a new feeling game, and you're an older person, to a game that you played as a child. So it's like the way you're comparing it is just not a fair comparison, because as a kid you're taking what you got and you running with it. So it's gonna be fun at the time because you're not playing it as much. So now, fast forward, we're in a time of gaming where everybody's everybody is competitive. Everybody's playing the game, trying to be the best COD player, trying to be the best 2K player, trying to be the best Valorant player, trying to be the best every streamer. So we're in a very competitive time with gaming. So it's like you're comparing gaming when it wasn't really that much competitive, where you can actually play casually and have fun, or play competitively and have fun, to a more competitive time where literally everybody's competing to be the best on any game that we play. So it's like, you can't really use that argument anymore.
It's because people have the pre-notioned idea that Nintendo only makes kids games, but once again, I'm seeing the same trend of people not venturing outside of their mainstream games. I mean, just based off the games Optimus mentioned, Breath of the Wild is the best open world I've ever played. Breath of the Wild 2 is on its way out. Mario Odyssey is on the same level, if not even better than Mario Sunshine. Bowser's Fury is relatively recent, and while Pokemon's been shaky, the trailers for the new games have got me cautiously excited for my favorite franchise again. Which leads me to the main point of this video, or sort of my extremely simple solution to people who say games are boring and are getting stale. Instead of trying to gain enjoyment out of the same shooters and sports games that get recycled every year, just look at things outside the mainstream bubble. It doesn't matter if you have a certain console or a PC. There's plenty of games on everything. You just have to look. And if money is an issue, then don't worry. You aren't forced into only playing free-to-play games. $10, $15, $20, $15, $25. Not to mention older games go on sale really often too. You aren't forced into only playing free-to-play games. If you've been stuck playing the same types of games over and over, there's probably so much you've missed. So much good stuff out there. But don't just pick up a single-player game, not enjoy it, and then claim you don't like single-player games at all. Oftentimes, you just haven't found the game that hits home with you. I mean, it's not like I like every single game I play, even if it's highly acclaimed. And if you're just really not into single-player games, and you really tried but just think they're boring, and only like multiplayer, action, and PvP, like, I promise there's games out there that are extremely well made that I'm still playing right now that feel so different from what we're used to. Spellbreak, Bed Wars, and Smash are some of my favorites right now. Trust me, there's a plethora of games out there. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm not saying that these mainstream games are all bad. That's not this video. And if you still enjoy them, then don't let me stop you. In fact, I'm glad you enjoy them. You're better off than most people out there. I used to love these mainstream FPS games when I was younger, but at some points things just got boring. I've been at the point where I was losing interest in games, and all I've really been playing at the time was Overwatch for months on end. Sometimes me and my friends would hop on Destiny or COD, but halfway through we just stopped playing and just talk because at that point, the games had gotten so repetitive that we got on to talk and not the games. And other than the occasional Pokemon game, it wasn't until I started to play other genres of games outside of shooters that I really started taking interest in so much more that's out there, introducing me to an entirely new world of art.
So what he telling me is I need to buy a Nintendo. Nah, that's not what he said. I actually like this video. Like, I like his take on why he thinks gaming feels boring. Like the fact that we're playing the same games that we've been playing since we were kids. So like, we need to really look outside of the mainstream genre of regular shooting games, regular sports games, and stuff like that, and expand our taste of video games to find our type of video game that would quench our thirst of excitement towards gaming. Like, I actually like that because I've been wanting to play like Mario, Nintendo games and stuff, but I've never had access to them because I never asked for a Nintendo system. Like, I always got a PlayStation or Xbox, so I've always been exposed to them. So like, the last fun game I think I actually played and enjoyed, like story game wise, I think was Spider-Man. Yeah, that was the last game like I've actually like fully enjoyed because of how new it felt to me. I need to get Spider-Man, man. I'm finna get Spider-Man and stream that bitch. Hey, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Spider-Man stream next week. Hey, I was just playing. But that'll wrap things up, man. We gonna leave it there. I hope you enjoyed the video. Quick little video before I go to work. You know what I'm saying? Be easy. Go stupid. Go crazy. Go dummy. Roll to one. And I'm out.